The only way you could judge a puppy is his behavior when you meet him and what he looks like. That's it. What are you supposed to do? You can't interview them and be like, does mental illness run in your family?
If your dog is a terrorist after 3 years, it's actually because of what you've been accidentally reinforcing. The key thing with separation anxiety is exercise. People have a tendency to think walking your dog is exercise. You need to run that dog. Too often people are like, here, take this dog, and I just want it to come back perfect. I don't want to learn anything. Just tell me what the commands are and I'm done. But that just doesn't work out that way. I've run into some people crying on their last whim, giving their dog to a shelter, and their dog ends up unnecessarily behaviorally euthanized. And that's where our mission stands, no paw left behind. We can modify your dog's behavior. You do not have to give your dog up.
Welcome to Wham Bam Thank You Pam. I'm your host, Pam Gaslow, writer, former stand-up comedian, and mastermind behind the 50-year plan to success. I also learned the hard way that you don't bring your vibrator to rehab, and wrote a book about it. Here we have bold, unfiltered conversations about sex, relationships, personal lives, and pop culture with a sharp, sexy, and comedic edge. Wham Bam Thank You Pam is the wildly entertaining, no-holds-barred discussion you didn't know you needed. Hey guys, welcome to Wham Bam Thank You Pam. Today's guest is Sunny Gurule.
You got it.
Yeah. She's an animal behaviorist and she has, the name of her company is Clever Canine Academy. And I've worked with Sunny to train my dog Luigi, who's a year old. So that's how we met and she's awesome. So something funny though, right an hour before we were supposed to film this, Ronar over here, our engineer, he messaged me that there was an active shooter in the area. And when I messaged Sunny, she wrote, ha, 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 and I'll bring my gun. I'm like, okay, she doesn't care. So
I was immediately thinking, maybe a protection dog? We need something.
I'm like, obviously, this was much more important to talk about animal behavior than actually maybe dying. I don't know. So here we are. Oh my God. So we're going to make this funny and light because dogs are great and they're fun and we don't have to be so serious about it because for sure, I've never been serious about a dog and my history with dogs is interesting. This is my 4th dog in 30 years. There's so many funny stories. Well, he's already laughing. I didn't even say anything.
He has a husky, so.
Oh, yeah. So we just found out he has a 3-month-old husky, so he's fucked. Okay. He is so fucked. In Miami, he's got a husky.
Comes out with all these scratches on his hands. I need help.
I know.
We need to talk.
All his teeth just fell out. Okay. So how did you get into working with animals? So I know that before you worked with dogs, which is what you primarily work with dog training now, people with dogs, right? Mm-hmm. You trained dolphins prior to this.
Yes.
Which is so interesting.
Yes.
So how did you get into dolphins and then how did you transition to dogs?
Sure. Well, long story short, I've always loved dolphins for really no reason. I'm originally from Montana and I've been obsessed with dolphins. I know, a landlocked state, since I was 4. So I knew I wanted to work with dolphins. I just basically knew what I wanted to do. So I took off to Florida about 17 to learn.
Wait, how do you wake up? Since I was 4, I wanted to work. Did you see a movie? Did you see a toy dolphin? How do you wake up and you're like, I love dolphins?
Cousteau was super popular.
I know
back in
Jacques
that
so well, yeah.
Right? Best friends, right? Since diapers. I became obsessed with him.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, in my schools, we didn't learn anything about the ocean. No.
Same.
Really?
Learn anything about anything. What do you learn? What about
the
ocean?
We learned earth science in school. There was nothing about the ocean. So it made me more obsessed. Of course, right? Being a little rebel, I need to learn more. So just my obsession grew and grew. And I came up with a fancy word, marine biologist. I'm like, I must do this. So I did. So I just took off down to Florida and I started volunteering at aquariums and then interning. And then I got my first job at Clearwater Marine Aquarium. That's where everything really took off. I worked with dolphins that were missing tail flukes, that were...
I don't even know what that is.
You don't tail fluke?
What's a tail
A tail fluke? Yeah, fluke. So
What's
basically the end of the dolphin that makes them go fast, right? The tail.
Oh.
And their fluke
We're not dolphin fans. I mean, we like them.
By the end of this, you will be.
Okay.
Dolphin Tale with like Morgan Freeman. Anyway, it's about a dolphin that lost his tail, and we had to use a prosthesis to basically rehabilitate this animal. Yeah. So we actually got to see this movie inspire many people. So people would come in missing limbs just to see Winter was her name. We also had dolphins that were 2nd to 3rd degree burned, and people would come in as burn victims to see these dolphins. So animals literally helping people. This is where the inspiration kind of came into behavior modification. How is this all working? People now, I'm going to try to walk again or be out. So this inspired my whole entire movement. And I went from doing that to living in Singapore, doing that, Costa Rica, just a bunch of different places.
And doing the dolphin
New
training.
Zealand. Yeah, doing the dolphin training.
Wow.
And then when I came back.
Wait, are dolphins in Singapore? Like where?
Yeah.
I mean, why am I surprised? I would think they have everything there, right?
Yeah, actually called Dolphin Island. Have you ever been to Singapore?
No, but it's on my list. It's like I'm so close to going to Singapore.
You have to go to Singapore. You just have to. Because once you're there, too, you can travel everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. That to me is like a stopover. Like, how do I make that happen?
Yeah. I mean, we would go to Malaysia just to go shopping, like clothes shopping, because it was so close.
Every time I book a flight somewhere really far, I'm like, is it near Singapore?
Really?
Like one trip, I will make it there, you know?
No, you have to go.
It's near China. That's next year. But anyway.
It's not near. Okay.
So
we'll get a map
Singapore,
later.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, New Zealand. So, yeah, I lived in those different places and just kind of working with marine animals. But instead of going the route where a vet or anything like that, I really been fascinated with behavior modification because it so closely relates with people also. Yeah. So then when I started getting into dogs, when I came back to the U.S., I started seeing that, wow, there is a much bigger chance for me to help more people with dogs, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I got into medical service dogs because obviously that seems like the direction to go. And not to be so heart-stirring pulling or anything over here, but when I saw people and their lives completely changed, I haven't left their house in like 7 years, and then being like, thank you so much. Now I leave my house and I can go to my son's wedding.
Wow.
Or someone with a seizure who can't even wash their own dishes, saying thank you so much. Now I can actually leave my house and take the bus.
So you help these people by training the dogs or training them to work with the dogs, or both?
Both. So always starting with training the dog first, right? 'Cause
Right.
the dog needs to know. But it's easier to train the dogs, right? Because really where it's at is training the people
That's
how
right.
to work with the dogs.
Yes.
100%. And then I just kind of scaled out, working with more dogs. So not just medical service dogs, it's all around dogs, as you've experienced yourself.
Yes.
Because not everyone needs a medical service dog, but they just want their dog well behaved.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, please stop playing games with me, right?
Oh, my God.
Just give me that toy back.
Oh, my God. All day. I have a little terrorist, like a little love terrorist who just is like, play with me, play with me, play with me, play with
Right.
me. Well, I love that, the way that evolved. And I love how you're so into that aspect of the animals and the humans. It's so crazy, like, to see what these dogs do and the seeing eye dogs. And it's incredible.
Right.
I mean, they literally are life-saving.
Really are life-saving. It completely transforms people's lives. So I've worked with clients that would be, I've never wanted a dog. There's no way I could take care of a dog. So they go from Prada to doggy bag because as soon as they have their first dog,
Oh, then everything's about the dog.
they're in love with their
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
Their socials are all about their dog. It's just, the transformation is unreal. And I met a lot of other canine specialists that feel the same passion as me. So I obviously built an amazing team that does the same thing, just a bunch of different places with me. And I couldn't think of a better way to live my life, really.
You have so much patience, and that's so key with like persistence, patience, praise. I remember reading dog training books, persistence, patience, praise. I'm so bad with it. Like, I remember an ex-boyfriend, he's like, is there anything you're not good at? I'm like, dog training. Like, literally so bad. So, okay, so
Specifically, dog training.
literally so bad. So what should people do before they buy or adopt a dog? And let's talk about a puppy.
Okay.
You know, not older dogs. That's just, I mean, we could talk about that, but not for now.
Okay.
So I am like the queen of zero research.
Okay.
Like I am an impulse. Like
He's
every
like,
dog.
I did not do my research either.
I had 3 dogs. I bought them at pet stores. Everyone hate me, but I know someone has to save them from the pet store. I'm sorry. And
Or shelters,
they were like total impulse. He's cute. Let's go home. Like that's like how I used to pick my men. Like I like know nothing about them, and I'm just like, he's so cute. Let's go. How much?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I have like a nightmare. Okay,
Yeah.
but what I used to say is, like, what are you supposed to do? You can't interview them and be like, does mental illness run in your family? Like, how are you supposed to know anything about them? The only way you could judge a puppy is his behavior when you meet him and what he looks like. That's it. You don't know what he's going to be in 3 years,
Gosh.
And I swear the dog I have now, Luigi, who I love to death, I swear he was drugged when I got him. Because for 2 days, he was just like, I'm like, this dog just sits in my lap. He's perfect. This is exactly what I want. Now he's the literal opposite. But I love him. But it's good for me. So when someone's thinking of getting a puppy, don't do what I did, which is nothing. And, what should you look for?
Well, that's a great question, actually. First, I want to acknowledge when you say I don't want a terrorist after 3 years. If your dog is a terrorist after 3 years, it's actually because of what you've been accidentally reinforcing. So 100%. So when you do get a puppy, you do want to identify a couple things. Yeah, of course, breed is kind of important. It plays a role, but temperament is the biggest role played. If you get any terrier mix, you're going to always get some sort of hyperactive dog. You just have to know.
Is that what I have? Is he a terrier?
Yeah.
I don't even know what he is.
So
why do I keep doing this?
I don't know, because he was cute, right?
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with huskies. People get huskies because they're so beautiful and cute, and then they realize what they're getting into.
2 Havanese they lived together for years. It's a whole other story I'm going to get into. And the second one finally passed, and I was like, I'm not getting a dog. I am not getting a dog. I want my freedom, which I had anyway. I just had a dog. But and then 4 months later, I literally woke up. I'm like, I want a dog today.
Yeah.
Like a lunatic. Yeah.
No, and actually that happens quite often. Or dogs are given to people for gifts.
That's a really
like
bad.
A Valentine gift.
No, that's
or
not
a girlfriend.
good.
It's a horrible gift.
When I was
it's a horrible gift.
29, my friends
I
gifted.
love dogs, and it's just you just don't throw a life at someone.
Right. You don't buy
I bet you're
someone
gonna like this dog.
a 15-year responsibility unless they want one, unless they said, I really want a dog. But you don't gift someone a living responsibility. When I was 29, my friends bought me parakeets. I was like, what am I going to do with these? And one flew out of the cage when I went to feed it, and I had literally thought I should call the police. I didn't even know what to do. The next day I gave him away. I mean, this was ridiculous.
Oh but parakeets, really?
Who gives someone a parrot? You don't give people these things.
Scrolling through.
No, this is before scrolling. I was really young.
You're just like, well, did you want a parakeet?
I don't think so.
At one point?
Maybe it was
parakeet
a joke.
Out of all things.
And that's just the worst gift. Okay, so.
It had to been a gag gift. But anyways, yeah, so I wouldn't give a dog to somebody that.
No, don't just give someone a dog.
Yeah.
It's not good. And don't get a dog for your kids if you think for a second your kid is going to take care of it. Unless your kid is 30.
Yeah.
Right?
That's so true.
Because when I was young, my dad would bring home a dog for like us, me and my brother. And then my mom would be like, I don't want to take care of it. And it would go away.
Yeah. That happens a lot too. Or the kids will say, Mom, I want a dog. Well, you have to take care of it. Right, without even realizing
no kids taking care of a dog.
No kids taking care of a dog. No, that's for sure. But temperament is a huge one. So when you're watching for, and it depends what you want the dog for. If you want the dog for like a diabetic alert dog, when you pick them out of their litter, you actually want to see if this dog loves to smell, like overly smell. Usually I'll put a mint or something in my mouth to see if one of the dogs are picking up on that scent. Or like a mobility dog, I'm going to see if out of the litter, if that dog is picking up things, right? And as I'm watching and observing these dogs, is that dog being a terrorist? Is it just tearing on things? What is it doing, right? And then, of course, then you go into like breed. What kind of breed you want? You do want to try to get the medical background as much as possible. And when you're getting a puppy, typically you can get a medical background, typically, right?
But what's a medical background? Like, what are they going to be like their parents had this?
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone revealing that.
Well, you have to ask. You definitely just ask.
What do you say? Like, did the parents have
Where
health
did the parents
issues?
come from? Yeah, where did the parents come from? What were
I don't even know if I trust people, to be honest about that.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you can get dogs that are AKC certified, which is American
Yeah,
Kennel
no,
Club.
he is. Yeah.
He is?
Yeah.
Well, if he's American Kennel Club certified, then
He's still insane.
you
There's nothing to do with anything.
well, you should be able to get their parents because he was so young. Then that means his parents were.
I'm going to go look for his
Yeah.
parents.
Let's go look for his parents. Let's make that a thing.
I want him
We'll
to
put that on
reunite
part
with them.
2. Found Luigi's parents.
I looked at the pictures of his parents. Meanwhile, they look nothing like him.
They
I don't even know if those. How do I know those are his real parents? It's like AI. Like, I don't know where this dog came from.
Send in those genetic strips like
I mean,
like we do now.
Anyway.
Seriously.
No, but like if you're just like clueless, like I don't know, I want a dog. Everyone gets the same dog. Everyone has a doodle, poodle, schmoodle. I don't know. Everyone has one.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Not even trying to roll my eyes because they are adorable and
No,
cute
they're
and fluffy.
cute.
They are.
But
But everyone does get those dogs.
But are they a great breed to get, or does everyone just copy everyone else because they think they're cute?
Okay, that's a loaded question. So are they a great breed to get for which person? So again, all of this comes down to the person. Are you a person that's going to take out the dog all the time? Are you an active person? Like, what kind of personality do you have to be able to take in this kind of breed, this kind of dog specifically, right?
They have a lot of energy.
They have a lot of energy
Yeah.
and they need to burn out that energy. Are you an active enough person to go out and do that, right? Are you going to be able to modify your life for this
Right.
dog as well?
So it's like
Yeah.
research. Like
It really is just
I don't
research.
Yeah.
Or you can call my company and be like, this is who I am. This is what I need. This is what I'm looking for my family. Can you help me find a breed?
That's a great
Absolutely.
suggestion. That's
Absolutely.
a good suggestion.
Yeah, we can help you out.
Okay.
100%.
So-
I always try getting shelter dogs. I know that's not everybody's favorite.
I did try.
Yeah.
And I found one, and then I went back to get him, and he was gone.
Oh,
And
oh.
then I went back, and none of them like seemed right for me. They were too big, and then you know, whatever.
A lot of shelters have what's called a doggy day out. So cute. It's basically where you take a dog and you take him for the day. See if you like
Oh,
him.
right.
I mean, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
To see if this
'Cause
dog
it's
is actually
like,
for
take
you.
this puppy home.
Yeah.
You're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. Yeah, but if this puppy is now just tearing up your furniture or whatever, now you know, like, okay, this wasn't for
On
me.
this topic, I wrote a piece. I just want to read part of it. I wrote a piece many years ago for the Huffington Post called "Living with a Con Artist," and it was about the Havanese that I had. And I'm going to read a little bit from it to give the audience an idea of how I make decisions and the consequences. So don't do what I did. Okay. So I got this dog. You know, I walked in. Oh my God, he's so cute. Know nothing about it. So my friend said to me, "So what do you know about the breed?" What do you know about the breed? My friend Lisa asked later that afternoon in my apartment while she typed something on my computer. Why would I do a silly thing like research a dog breed before buying it? I picked him for the same reason I picked men. He was cute. It's not like I could interview him and ask him if insanity ran in his family. Then I wrote, they say that owning a dog relieves stress. With that in mind, I just want to say that I love Jackson to death. That was his name. But for starters, he never slept. He was up all day until night, and at 2 a.m., I would hear him dragging my jeans across the bedroom floor into the living room while wearing my underwear around his neck. He stole shoes, food, gum. Did you know wrappers are edible? And estate jewelry. He once found a bag of weed in a friend's jacket pocket. He snatched, ate, and shit the earplugs that I was using to not hear him. He had boundless energy, no shame, and zero fear. Plus, he jumped high as a cat. His dexterity and balance were off the charts, and my apartment was his 24-hour obstacle course. He jumped from the back of the couch to the top of my desk. He once jumped onto my radiator, pulled down my friend's bag, unzipped it, and stole a chocolate croissant. Another time, I caught him trying to step onto a bookshelf. Then there was the time my boyfriend and I were having sex, and I watched him jump 2 feet in the air and catch a moth in his mouth. I shrieked, and he opened his mouth, and the moth flew out. I didn't understand why he was wasting all his marketable talents at home when he could have had a productive, fulfilling, and lucrative job. He would have been a stealth dog sniffer or a curious land surveyor, but he wouldn't leave my side ever. He stuck to me like Velcro. His existence was like a fly buzzing in my ear, and he licked and bit himself incessantly. He dug endlessly on the bathroom floor. He marked and barked. He was a hyperactive mute thief who needed a treadmill and a job. He was cause for eviction. Okay.
That was great.
Yeah, thank you.
That
And
should be how to pick a dog.
how to
and then
not,
how not to pick
right.
a dog.
And so
Boom.
I did what any normal
Pam's way.
person would do is I got another one.
Okay. Yeah, you give him a playmate.
Yeah, I was
People
like,
do
he
that.
needs a friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I wrote, I thought Jackson needed a friend and someone to play with, so I bought another Havanese and named him Blackie. It's 6 years later, and not only do they not play with each other, Blackie has tried to kill Jackson at least 3 times.
Yes.
One time I got caught in the crossfire and got bit. But anyway, besides his killer instinct and that unbearable high anxiety migraine inducing bark that got us evicted from my New York City apartment in 2013. Truth story.
True story.
Okay? So this has been my life, and here we are.
And here we are today.
Yeah. So
And where are both of them?
they both passed.
Okay.
And this is another funny thing. So I had in my will, I had left like instructions that if I passed before them, a friend of mine was to take them, and I left her money to take care of them.
Oh, wow.
And so
you
I
thought about your dogs? That's amazing.
yeah.
I love that.
So now, so I didn't read my will ever. Like this just goes along with everything else about me. So like years later, I took my will out and I'm like, I'm gonna read this, and it said the funniest thing. It said something about would take care of the offspring of my dogs. I'm like, offspring? First of all, they're neutered. Second of all, what offspring? Like their kids? Are those like my grandkids? Like what? And the girl, and this is really sad. So not only were they both passed by this time, the girl also who I was gonna leave them to passed. The whole thing was so insane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was just like, but the will part was so funny. It was like, you know, to pay for ads to look for them if they go missing. I'm like, go missing?
What are you?
Just, we've had a good run. They're fine. If they go missing, no, don't nobody put an ad in the paper. You know, we're good. They're fine. Anyway,
No home.
that's,
No,
I was like, what?
That's amazing.
I used to sleep because they would fight at night. I used to sleep with a bucket of water next to my bed in case they started fighting to throw it on them. My life was so unmanageable.
Oh, my gosh.
Literally, I was bit twice. It was so bad.
Pam.
I like
Wow.
lived in a wild
I'm sorry
kingdom.
we didn't meet earlier.
I know. I lived in a wild kingdom with 2 of the cutest dogs in the world. That
Wow.
in the elevator, people are like, your dogs are so cute and so well behaved. I'm like, you are judging them by 15 seconds of nothing. So don't judge a book by its cover. Sunny, you bring a puppy home.
Pam.
What's the first thing? What should you do and what should you not do? First few days, confine them. I do everything wrong. I put in my bed the first night. You know, terrible. What should you do? I started to learn with Luigi. I did better.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
should you do?
Really, you weren't as bad
I
as
was
you
pretty
think.
good.
Yeah.
4th time around.
Yeah. you gotta learn someone.
I've learned something. In 30 years, I learned put the dog gate in the kitchen.
Okay, so let's rewind. So when you
Okay.
bring a puppy home,
Yes.
right, first of all, I always recommend training. Why not at least get one training session in so then that way
Are they ever too young to train, or is there a certain age you would start at, or right away
12 weeks, they need all their shots at least. You know, some
to
people
go outside?
to go outside, you know, get them socialized, things like that.
Because I got him at 3 months, and then I was stuck in the house with him because,
Yeah.
that was
You
horrible.
don't want the crazy vet bills that come after that. Yeah.
Okay.
12 weeks. 12 weeks is a good time to start getting them trained. And that way the canine specialist can put boundaries on the dog, can potty train the dog for you, really start learning the foundation of basic obedience and schedule feeding times, walking them, things like that. These sound so basic, but they're just not for people, right? It's just
Yeah.
really hard for people in general to get on schedule, on their life schedule.
Yeah.
And now you're putting another life on schedule.
So you're saying for training,
Start right away.
start with a behaviorist, a trainer right away.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. If you are gun ho and you're like, I'm going to do it myself, I'm going to
Right.
watch all the YouTube channels and become a YouTube trainer, which end up calling me later on. But
I did.
yes.
And I did.
Yes.
Right.
Just, it's
I'm
a
like,
normal
sit. Oh, you won't? Okay. Hi. And what do you charge?
thing. What's happening here?
Don't sit.
Yeah, right. Potty training is like really the big one for people pulling their hair out. Like, I just don't have time for this. And my dog is going everywhere and destroying
It's
everything.
very, very frustrating. I was really lucky. He got it in 3 days. I'm just
So
a fucking
great.
miracle. It has nothing to do with me.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Feeding schedule is massive when it comes to
Yes.
that. People also try to give their puppy all these treats, and their GI tract isn't fully developed. you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so now you give him all these treats. Yeah, you have feeding schedule appropriately done, but then now you give him treats in between. And it's
Messing the whole
you're
thing
messing
up.
the whole thing
And then
up.
they're going to go poop in the house
Right.
because you just fed them more stuff. Yeah.
Right. Another thing too that people really dislike hearing is crate training. They hate hearing
I
this.
hated it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is like you see on the shelter commercials, all of these poor, sad dogs in a crate. And like, oh, and nobody's like, I never will put my dog in a crate. But let me paint a picture for you. All right. So when you bring your dog to a vet, it goes in a crate.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring the dog to the groomer, it goes in a crate. So first off, if you bring your dog to a vet, it is usually sick or injured, right? So now your dog is sick, injured, and in a crate that it hates. So it's stressed out beyond belief, and it's not going to get better in that aspect. So why not be a good mom? Make that crate the most reinforcing place ever. Make it its little cubby hole, make its little play area. And then that way when they do go to the vet or do go to the groomer, they're like, yay, I get to go in this crate in this comforted area.
So true.
So important to crate train your dog. Just so important. So
I never did it. And one reason I
You
didn't
did?
do
You
it,
crate trained it? That's Air 5. That was
every
good.
time I would put my second dog in a crate, he would ballistically bark. And I live in a condo. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't sleep. I can't listen to this. So I put him in my bed.
Why not?
Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, it is. And with Luigi, I did it. And he was really, really good with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the same way. I'm like, I'm not using a crate.
Yeah.
No, but it works.
It works.
And
It's
then
so
they
important.
learn. They're like, this is my home now, and this is where I sleep, and this is where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And I come out and I eat, and I come out and I go outside,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And you don't have to stick them in the crate all the time,
No.
but make sure that they're comfortable going in the crate, right?
Right.
And that they love it. They want to go in the crate. Another thing too, it's not that I disagree with sleeping with a dog in a bed. I mean, I love sleeping with dogs in the bed. What I disagree with is when the dog is starting to exhibit major behavioral issues, such as major separation anxiety. And for those of you who don't know what that is when you leave the house and the dog is howling, barking, tearing up the furniture, just can't get with it. And I've dealt with dogs that were eating walls or just scraping the crate so hard or the wall so hard that their paws are bloody because the separation anxiety is so bad. These people are sleeping with their dogs, coddling their dogs, things like that. That's when I start to say, okay, let's start with not sleeping with your dog at night. Let's go there.
How do you reverse that? I guess you just do it slowly, and then. And when you say not sleeping, like putting the dog in the crate at night, you mean?
No, in your bed with
No,
them.
but you're saying when you reverse it, where would you put the dog to sleep? On the floor?
So
or
you
in the
have
crate?
to, you're going to have to modify it very slowly. Small approximations. This is a process that takes a long time depending on the severity of the separation anxiety because you actually have to reinforce them for you being gone, right? It's super easy to do. It just takes forever. So you literally leave the house for maybe 10 seconds, come back, reward, yay, yay, yay. And make sure they have chewy toys, make sure they have licky mats, whatever the case may be, right? And then leave again for maybe a minute this time, come back, yay, 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 reinforce, yada, yada. A key thing with separation anxiety too is exercise. People have a tendency to think walking your dog is exercise, and it's more exercise on us than it is on the dog. You need to run that dog. That dog really needs to be tired. Luigi gets tired fast.
He
So,
does.
like-
He's 1 year old. I'm like, is he okay? He's so tired. We
What
walked
did we
2
do? Like
blocks.
one session of recall. He was like,
I
"Do we
kind of
have
like it
to
though.
go?"
I like it.
know,
I'm like, thank God we don't have to go that far. But
It
it's
was
also
so
very hot
funny.
here, and
It
the
is very
heat
hot.
bothers him. Yeah. So in the winter we might have to walk a little farther.
Yeah.
But it's true. I'm like, why is he so annoying? I'm like, go run him in the park. Go take him to the dog park. Let him chase a dog for a half hour. He'll leave you alone for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's work. It's
It is
something
work.
to take care of. It's a job.
Yeah.
What did I want to ask you? So the dog's really not too young. Even let's say you bring it home and you can just start right away. Like sit, treat, sit, push him down. Yeah. Is there
Push him
ever
down.
push him down, kick him? No, I'm kidding. I love when anyone besides me tells Luigi to sit and they don't listen. I'm like, no, you have to do like this and hold this and stand that way and like hold the treat. Well, he doesn't really need to sit for you, but he knows how to sit.
In fact, just leave it.
Anyway, so is the dog ever too old to train?
Oh, that is another really good question. It's not the fact that the dog is too old for it to be trained. It's the duration of time the dog is going to take to be trained. So the longer the dog has been exhibiting this unwanted behavior, for instance, biting on your hands. Let's just give you an example since you said this one over here. Say your dog is 17 and has been biting on your hands for 17 years, right? Okay. And it's been reinforced to bite on your hands, meaning every time the dog bites on your hands, you're play boxing with them, It's so much fun. Yay, yay, yay. This is so great. Now all of a sudden, oh, I want them to stop completely. Right now we have to reinforce them even more for not doing that. So 17 years, we have to uncondition that response, and the dog's a lot older. So the neuroplasticity in the brain is actually going to be obviously a little harder to.
I mean, it's like people with habits, like retraining, relearning. That's hard. So it's like it can be done, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for the person, the trainer, we typically don't have problems actually modifying behaviors fairly quickly, but it's also the habits that the person gets into, right? The owner is habitually wanting to play with the dog,
Right.
or the owner's friends. You do a really good job at this, by the way. You are so strict with your friends. You're like, okay, Luigi's going to come over. This is what I do not want. And I love that.
Right.
That's so great. A lot of people are really casual with it, and their friends end up modifying
He
them on
doesn't
behavior.
listen anyway.
He doesn't.
Right.
What, are your friends listening?
I don't know. Rich, you better listen to this podcast. Okay, I'm going to give a big
Shout
one.
out to Rich.
Anyone who is getting a puppy or has a young dog, never, ever feed it from the table.
Never feed
Ever.
from a table.
No matter how much you are creating a 10 to 15 year monster
Yeah.
who will not let you eat peacefully in your own home. And so many people do it. I'm like, I go to someone's house. I'm like, that is so annoying.
Yeah.
When I made the mistake with my first dog, and I couldn't eat a meal in my house without him scratching, barking,
Yeah.
pushing on me. I put him in the bathroom, he'd pee on the floor. Horrible. And I might have told you this. Like one time my mom watched my dogs. I had 2 dogs when I went away, and I came back. They've never been fed one thing from the table. And I came back, and they're hovering around me while I'm eating. And I called my mom, and I was like, did you feed them from the table? I'm like, because you can have them now. I was like, now they're
just
yours. You ruined them.
Yeah.
But she didn't. And they were she probably did a little.
No, she definitely did. If that was the case, dogs never lie. They just don't.
No, I knew. I'm like, why are they hovering around?
Yeah.
Are there any dogs that are just untrainable, or are there just owners? And there could be both.
Okay.
Because anytime I've used a trainer in the past, the dog's great with the trainer.
Mm.
It's just me and the owner. It's a lot of work. Like I used to think, oh, I just give my dog to someone and then the dog will get trained. But the owner has to get trained to work with the dog.
Right.
Right. But are there any dogs where you've been like, this dog, I just can't train it? Or is it just the people that can't train the dog?
Okay. So another good question. No, all animals can be trained.
Okay.
Right? You just have to find the appropriate reinforcement for the animal, what to do, the motivation of the animal, or of course, if there's any consequence for the animal afterwards. Any animal can be trained. Now for owners, it's a good question. Is that's the first thing you said to me when you called? You're like, listen, I need to learn how to do this.
Right.
And I loved that. I love that so much because too often people are like, here, take this dog. And I just want it to come back perfect.
Right.
I don't want to learn anything. Just tell me what the hand signals are or what the commands are and I'm done. But that just doesn't work out that way. So if you're a person that does not want to put in the time to continue being a companion for your dog and continue the obedience and discipline with the dog, if you're not that person, don't get a dog. Like, you're just not going to learn.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of person. Anybody that wants to learn can learn, right? You absolutely can.
This took me so long to realize this because I was just like, okay, well, you're the trainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you do that. And then you give him back to me.
And he's
and
a
like, I
robot.
just enjoy him.
Give me the remote
Right.
and tell me how to do it.
And I'm like, well, why doesn't he do it when I say it?
Yeah. So I do always incorporate, if we do a board and train like we did with Luigi,
Yeah.
incorporate the handover to make sure you do teaching the client what to do, how to work with the dog. And then during that process, doing the videos, teaching the client, like, this is what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how
Right.
we're doing it. And then private lessons are always important for that too.
Yeah. It's so worth it.
It really is so worth it. People ask all the time, how much is it to get your dog trained? And honestly, I always say, well, bad dog training couldn't be more expensive.
Yep.
From your
Oh,
experience.
you want this? You like this cabinet? Well, that's going to be destroyed. So how much is this?
Yeah.
How much is the sofa? How much are your shoes?
Yeah.
Whatever else this dog's going to eat or destroy. And we've all been there. And we love them because they're just so cute that you're like, fine, you could stay, even though you owe me a lot of money.
Destroyed half my apartment. Yeah.
Do you use shock collars? Do you believe in them, or is it for a certain type of dog?
So shock collars can be used for many different things. Like I don't necessarily condone certain things. What I do condone, I should say, is punishing, right? Just absolutely punishing your dog.
You do condone it?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it at all.
Right.
I absolutely don't. I don't think you should punish your dog. I don't think you should smack your dog around. I don't think you should shock your dog. However, shock collars are also used for things like bird dogs, like marking. So they can either have a vibrator on it or they can have a little sound on it to mark a good response with the dog and the dog come back. So it's not that I'm saying
What's a bird watching dog? What
like a
is that?
bird dog, a hunting dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll use a shock collar. I think it's called more of a remote collar now. I'm not saying there's never a time to not use it. For me, I'm reward based, as you know. Most of the time, there's actually very rare. I would say there's a time where I feel like I should say, yes, use a shock collar on a dog, unless it's going to save the dog's life. If this dog is completely out of control and the shock collar is going to save the dog's life, and that's what you need to do, then great, you just saved the dog's life. But science has indicated that positive reinforcement or reward base actually has a longer effect on the dog.
Okay.
So think about it this way. You go to work, you get a paycheck, right? That is your reward. You continue going to work because you continue getting a paycheck, right? Not only that, you actually try to perform even more to get a raise, right? So your dog wants to get that paycheck, and your dog performing better and doing greater wants to get that raise, wants to work for you. If you just build that relationship with your dog and you're communicating with your dog, hey, look, if you're good, you're going to get great things. I mean, they're going to give you lots of love and give you some toys, different kinds of treats. Oh, we're going to go to a trip to a park, make it variably fun for them. Then they're going to be a great dog for you. Yeah.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you're like, take you to the park. Having a dog is like having a 4-year-old toddler for like 15 years. Like, right?
Yeah.
But I always say, I'm like, oh, but you know, like kids with dogs. First of all, you can't compare having a kid to having a dog. It's the most ridiculous comparison. I know people do this, but it's like you're not going to leave a kid home alone for 5 hours with food on the floor. You know, I mean, I hope you don't. But and I'm always like, well, he's not going to grow up and be an alcoholic and a drug addict and go to therapy and talk about me.
At least there's that.
Right?
At least there's that.
I mean, they only live a certain amount of time, but it's like enough, you know, like we're good. We had a good run. Are there any
Then you can
breeds?
just get another one.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
It's really hard to
I
replace
messed
a
this one
person.
up. Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I want the same exact dog. I'm like, you're gonna love another dog. Like, you know, I want to clone my dog. Like, just don't.
What's really sad is I've run into some people crying and in tears on their last whim, giving their dog to a shelter, and their dog ends up unnecessarily behaviorally euthanized. And that's where our mission stands. No paw left behind is to show people that we can modify your dog's behavior no matter how bad. No matter how bad we're going to stick with you, we'll modify your dog's behavior. You do not have to give your dog up.
That's amazing. But, you know, the average person doesn't have the patience or the willingness to fight that hard for something that seems so out of control. And I get it.
Or
But
they
that's
just don't
very-
know where to find the trainer.
Yeah.
They've been, how many trainers have you gone through?
I don't know.
Yeah. So they've been
I
through
give
so
up.
many trainers and they're like, I just know that my dog's untrainable. And so it's just finding the right trainer and knowing, I mean, we're here. Clever Canine Academy, we are here to help you.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's hope for every bad dog.
There's hope.
Are there any breeds that are harder to train, or which are the easiest as like a general rule? Are you like, oh, I would really never get a husky? No, I'm just kidding. No. Are there any
I actually
dog,
grew up with huskies.
Are there
so.
any breeds that are harder and some that are easier?
I would say, so it depends on what you're training them for, right?
Let's
so,
just say
so
a house pet.
a regular
nothing
house pet.
Specific, yeah.
This is actually funny because I just got off the phone with a client. She's a dachshund. She's having potty issues, right? Dachshunds tend to be really stubborn when it comes to learning their obedience and potty training. They just take a lot longer.
You know, that's the breed I was going to get before I found Luigi.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad.
So there
they're
you
just
go.
too low to the ground for me. Yeah. I need him to jump on my bed. Yeah.
I don't want to get doggy starts. That's funny.
No, I think they're adorable. If someone gifted me one, I
Yeah.
would have kept it.
Yeah, but they're so cute.
Yeah.
So, and they're so little, so they're manageable, right? So it's like, okay, I can just take out the dog more often, or I can just pick him up and go. So,
So
people
you're
are
saying
okay.
in general that breed is a little harder?
I would say that. It's hard to say breed-wise what dog's harder because it's like temperament wise. Like, what kind of temperament am I looking at here?
What
Is
if-
this very
yeah.
what?
No, go ahead.
What?
No, what's that breed? Oh, the Afghan. Have you ever worked with an Afghan? I just wanted to walk down the New York City street with two black Afghans.
Big
But I don't actually want to own one because it looks like it's too much. But everyone says they're so stubborn and stupid. I think they're just more stubborn. Do you know?
more stubborn, I would say. I think it's just because they're so big, they can get away with it.
That's another thing.
So when it comes to other breeds that are super intelligent, actually, believe it or not, poodles are the smartest dog.
My mom always says that.
They are.
Like, oh, what did they cure cancer? No, I get it.
They're just more intelligent. But if you're getting a working breed, like a German Shepherd, a Malinois, there's like this fad going around for Malinois. All these men are like, I need a Malinois. Give me a Malinois.
They think it's so masculine.
Yeah. Then they get this little dog that's on Adderall. Like, what do I do with this dog? What do I do with this
The
dog?
Malinois?
Yeah.
Malinois. That's like a cookie
Malinois.
from the 70s. Yeah. Malinois.
Malinois.
But
Those
the
are
military
military
dogs,
dogs.
yeah.
So you see all the TikToks around where they are doing really cool military
They
things.
jump 80 feet in the air.
Exactly. Really crazy stuff. Because that's what they're bred for. That's what they're meant to do.
Right.
So if you're going to get that breed to be a couch dog, wouldn't recommend that.
Take note. Right?
Yeah, just like really take note. What are you going to use your dog for?
Right.
What kind of lifestyle? That's 100% what I say all the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the hardest part about your job?
The hardest part about my job is it becomes really heart-wrenching for people. When I hear the horrific stories about people telling me that they had to give up their dog, that they wish that they met me prior, it's very difficult. It does keep me very motivated to bring more awareness about the situation, that there are people out there that can help you. But I think the hardest part is hearing the dogs that get unnecessarily behaviorally euthanized. Now, there are situations, obviously, where there's some dogs that have neurological issues that obviously need to get behaviorally euthanized. But when it's just a dog in a shelter, yeah, that's definitely the hardest part, for sure. I wish I had a funner story to make this light and
No,
fun.
I was going to end on a lighter note. Like,
Yeah.
what's your favorite success story, like a before and after miracle? I'll share that.
Well, hopefully it'll be Luigi here soon.
I can't give up on Luigi. You guys don't give
Just
up because
can't.
most people give up on training and the dog's like half trained. You know, Luigi, go to your place. He goes to the place except when someone's knocking on the door, which is like, no, I'm not going. So,
Play in the hallway.
But for me, I always give up and I don't want to do that this time. And it's like the work. It's like, oh, who cares? Just let him jump on someone. You know, he's only 12 pounds or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with it with this one.
So my favorite success story ever is actually a diabetic alert dog. Her name is Lola. And I love this story so much. This family came to me because they had an 11-year-old daughter with diabetes whom went into diabetic coma twice. Once went into diabetic coma just from sleeping, and the other playing basketball and just hit the ground and went into diabetic coma. So these parents were actually taking turns sleeping in her room because her machines were not working. They just kept malfunctioning. And this is actually very common for the machines not working appropriately. And when your diabetes is that severe, that's your life, right? So not only that, they are allergic to dogs. So we had to get...
The parents?
Not just the parents, the daughter too, allergic.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so when they heard about, obviously, hyperallergenic dogs, they're like, oh, let's get a Bernedoodle. Let's do this. Let's try to find a dog for them. And we did. Found a dog named Lola. I started her out at 8 weeks old. She was with me for about 2.5 years. And this little girl, she plays ice hockey, she plays tennis, and she's going to play tennis professionally as well. Wow. So not only did this dog have to go out and alert the coach or alert someone when she's on the court, but whenever she's sleeping and something's wrong with her, she would have to try to wake the little girl up. And if the little girl didn't wake up, she would have to go find the parents to wake up the parents. God. Yeah. So when I went to go do this handover, and I put so much work into it because this story, I'm like, oh my gosh, this little girl's life is in my hands. And I felt this big pressure. I'm like, this has to work. I'm gonna make sure like day and night I'm gonna work this dog. So I actually stayed in their house for a little bit of time to do the handover with them. And the very first night, Lola did her job. I have it all in recording, and it's not even that great of a video, but I have it. It's on my YouTube. It's just like, okay, she came downstairs. Lola came downstairs, alerted me, and I'm like, really? And so I went, it's a 3-story home, and I went upstairs to go wake up Melissa. I'm like, Melissa, are you okay? And her actual rate just skyrocketed. It was just, yeah. So it was just amazing for me to be able to be a part of that conduit, right?
That's
so
special.
Yeah.
That's so rewarding.
So rewarding.
Yeah,
Like
and
there's
that's like-
no amount of money that can give you that
Yeah.
kind of reward.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I mean,
love
I
it.
won't even know how you train the dog to do that, but we can't get into
So
that.
long, yeah.
That's too much detail. No, but that's incredible.
Part 4.
I'm glad we ended on this note.
Yeah.
That's such a life-changing, life-altering, amazing. These dogs are amazing, what they can be taught. Like, I can't even teach my dog to sit, and this dog's like, no, he sits, I'm kidding. And this dog's like saving somebody's life.
And a Bernedoodle. Who'd have thought,
See,
right?
there you go.
Usually you
They're so
see
cute.
German Shepherds or
Yeah.
Labs, yeah.
This was so great.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, and there's so much more. We could talk about this for
Forever.
hours, I know. And I could tell
So
you
many stories.
1,000 more horrible dog stories that I have to share about my lack of success with
Yeah.
them, but I love them all. So, Sunny, where do you train? You're in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
What areas do you go to, and tell people like where they can find you?
Right. So I'm not just in South Florida.
Okay.
I'm also in North Florida as well. Also in New York, around the Barrows. I'm also in North California. So you can find me there as well. Where you find me, www.clevercanines.com. So it's clever with a K, and then canines with an S, so .com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the social media platforms. I'm there.
So, you guys, if you want to get your dog in shape, do it while they're young. Don't do what I did.
Don't miss out on the opportunity.
I know, and she's awesome, as you can see. She's so sweet. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
This was
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.